Saturday morning and I'm about to head out on my weekly video. The topic I'm going to cover off on this week's video is, should I be using my Canon EF 16-35 F2.8 L USM zoom lens more, or should I sell it? The basic issues around that I want to use as a framework to analyse it are: one, I don't use it much now, and is that just because I'm lazy, or is it because it's not as good as my 24-70 2.8 lens, which is what I currently kind of believe. So the four questions are, first of all, is it not as good? The second one is it optically inferior to my 24-70? The third question is, do panoramas replace the use of an ultra-wide angle lens? And the fourth question is, are there specific areas where I could use this lens which would justify keeping it? So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to set off and do what I usually do, drive around and take some photos, but I'll be thinking about those things as we go. Thank you. As I left town, I noticed that the PreDawn light was pretty strong and a lot brighter than what I'd normally expect. There was no cloud, but I had a gut feeling that there could be fog over in the Tutors. This was confirmed as I headed towards the Manawatu Gorge and saw that in the gorge itself there was cloud being forced through the gorge via slight easterly breeze. So I drove up the hill and over the saddle road and went to my normal spot just at the base of Te Awhiri wind farm. And from that point, I just proceeded to wait for the sun to progressively come up and light the scene up. Morning. We're here at Te Awhiri, photographing the sunrise as it's come up behind me and just behind my head here, and we've got fog out in the Tutors. Beautiful morning. Apologies for the traffic noise, but what a gorgeous day, and no wind, just a little breeze. just behind me. What a fantastic morning. And right, I'll just spin all the way around, and behind me the sun is lighting up the wind farm. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. After the sun rose, I started to drive down towards Woodville, and only went a couple of 100 metres down before I got to some sheep yards on the side of the road and took some other pictures, and they were quite impressive. With the sun up and with plenty of ability to create the star pattern with the sun and sheep in the foreground, we've got some pretty reasonable pictures at that point. So that was it. Then we went further down the hill from there and went towards Hallblock Road, where on the flats the fog was pretty intense and almost gloomy. So I didn't actually try anything in the actual fog itself, but I headed towards Hallblock Road and went up Hallblock Road and found a spot where I was just above the cloud itself. So that was really the sum of the morning. Thank you. So I'm back home now, and I'm just going to review my experience using the 16 to 35mm lens. Basically, the answer to my first question is I think the main reason I haven't been using it is I am lazy, and I really have enjoyed using the lens today. There are challenges with using ultra-wides. It's very much about the foreground, and that's very much what it's about. Optically, is it better than the 24 to 70? To be honest, I can't tell. I don't know whether it's better or not. Do panoramas replace a super wide lens? To be honest, I think the super wide lens makes better panoramas. It's got far more interesting distortion factors involved than the 24-70. So there's a new love going on between me and that lens that wasn't there before. The last question was, are there some things that I would use that lens for where I wouldn't use the 24-70? And in short, there are two things. One is if I use a DSLR or a mirrorless camera for vlogging, then that lens would come into its own, because I could handhold the camera and vlog to the camera with the 16 to 35, whereas I don't think I could do that with the 24 to 70. The other thing is, I used to do astro. I haven't done astro for probably about 3 years. I do want to get back into it. Part of my laziness is astro is a wintertime activity, and I'm not fond of the cold. So if I still continue to do astro, then it's going to be very much part of it. So that's the end of this video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to up the content now that I am at least semi-retired. Up the quality and the quantity of the content. Also, if you have enjoyed the content, please like it by pressing the thumbs up button. If you want to give me some feedback, please do so by putting comments in the comments page on the YouTube channel page. And thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate you watching. Thank you.